A mix with a Swede and a German versus a newly formed UK powerhouse with a little bit of Finnish frosting on top. Next in line, going to be taking on Royals here for the first quarter-final of the upper bracket here at EPIC39, powered by Intel. I'm back with Tim. How you doing?
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this game. I had the privilege during our little break to sit behind some of the teams who were playing, one of them being Royals. It's really interesting to get these insights on these teams from sitting behind them. Normally, I'm used to being in front of them, playing on them the server, so you don't get as much opportunity to actually look behind them and get insights on the team, but we've definitely got it this time. And speaking of insights, we've got an interview coming up with Dutchy.
Well, if he fits in all mad roles, he's going to play with confidence, he's going to shoot people, and that's all we really ask of him, to be honest.
And when it comes to placing at this event, where are your expectations for landing?
So HOTV is something that we've not managed to get yet on this team. Just a bit unlucky, to be honest, but so the base goal, HOTV, and then ideally win an event. We all want to win events, we want to be champions.
And looking at the other teams, who do you think is your biggest threat at this event?
7 AM. Straight up, yeah. I mean, ex-teammates, LVN Husky, ex-coach, Emp. I want to show them why it was a mistake when they kicked me all the way back, and then get some revenge.
Nice, I like it. Thank you very much, Dutchy.
Yeah.
Fighting words from Dutchy, and so far he's been backing it up. In the group stage, they didn't drop a map. They did tie one. That was to Al Fatiak. They went 15-15 there. The interesting part about the rest of their run is that no team was able to take more than 3 rounds off them, other than Al Fatiak. It's a really nice run.
Yeah, it is quite interesting to see actually, but how close that was for Al Fatiak. They're much more going to be a much more brawly side. They're going to have a lot more firepower. So maybe it's the firepower that they're going to struggle with, and we know that Royals have got no shortage for that. They've got a lot of experienced players in the international scene: TVS, Swaggy, Devran, and then there's even firepower. And Oscar, the Brit on the side there, who's got a lot of firepower. Despite his lack of experience, we know he can shoot. He's played a lot of mixes in EPS. But yeah, it's that firepower that they've got. TVS, we've seen him in All Stars recently in 1921, playing with Ents. He used to play with Swaggy on Geeks Energy and Royals as well. Devran and Orpa, I believe is an Orpa. No, it's TVS is an Orpa, never mind.
TVS.
Yeah, Devran, he used to play for Big Academy, so that's sort of the level of players we're looking at here. So there's a lot of firepower. Next in line, again, the only team they struggled with, Al Fatiak, are firepower powerhouses.
Yeah, and I mean, even Hartle's on this roster, who is outshone by the rest of the firepower. We were standing behind them for their game against the neighbours earlier, Smooya's mix with Extinct, Adam 9130, Dobbo, and I've forgotten the fourth player. I'm so sorry, but even still, Hartle's was having really big impact in that game. In fact, the round, because Royals tied against the neighbours to top their group, the round that got them 15 and secured them topping the group was a big 4K at Hartle's.
Yeah, 1v2 as well. What more can you want from well, someone you'd expect less from?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Next in line, obviously coming off the back of a spectacular open run.
Yeah.
They went 14-1 in the regular season, and then completely won the entire bracket, like 8 best of 3s, sailed through it all, and got an advanced promotion.
One thing I also want to draw attention to is with that run, they've barely been tested. There's a lot of players in this event who've said that Al Fatiak, they've questioned why Al Fatiak were put in second pot. They were second seed in their group, and next line were put first. So a lot of people question that, and they proved that with 15-15, so it's actually quite even. Again, next in line, the only testing they've had is deep in those open playoff run. We're yet to see that, at least within the UK scene, for them to be testing. This is their testing field. This is all the games are going to be tested for. We're going to be able to get a good benchmark as to where they sit in the UK. And that Al Fatiak game is a good example of that.
Yeah. To go through the other teams in the group, just so you can get an idea of how dominant this run was. Sloppenheimers were who next in line played first. They won that 16-1. Next in line went up against the free agents. They won that 16-3. Then they went up with Men with Ven, and they won that 16-2. Al Fatiak was the round 4 game, and that was a 15-15. So that was the one game that took them close.
Yeah.
And then Genitex, 16-13.
16-3, sorry. 16-3.
16-3, sorry.
Yeah,
16-3.
So all of these scores, it's 16-1, 16-3, 16-2, 16-3, other than that Al Fatiak game. So they are dominant against these weaker teams. But again, Royals, they're not one of these weaker teams.
No, absolutely not.
One thing I want to also look at is the map pool. So, I did have a word with Next in Line
Okay.
before the game. They're aware that Swaggy, he's a player who hates Inferno. He's an Inferno hater. And Swaggy is going to be a big vocal component to what's happening in the veto for Royals, as many people would suggest. So it's unlikely we're going to see Inferno. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure Next in Line, let's just have a look at their ESEA history. Yeah, in the regular season, they didn't play Inferno or Mirage. So if they rely on Royals banning Inferno, they can ban Mirage, which means they've got 5 maps which they've got a lot of reps on, a lot of experience on. Mostly Vertigo, it looks like. They went 5-1 in ESEA. Nuke 3-0, so we might be looking at one of those maps.
Yeah, and both those maps, great maps. Love to cast those. Yeah, it's just Next in Line. The only real issue here is they're still quite untested against these better teams, right?
Yes, they are.
That's what I'm most looking forward to here going into the playoffs, is that we're seeing them against Royals now, and then we'll still have one more best of 3 at least from them in this tournament, even if they lose this, which they looking pretty good, honestly. It's going to be a close game, but so far I think Next in Line might edge it out.
Yeah, it really depends on this veto for me.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Royals being a mix, essentially a mix, let's be real, even though some of these players have played together before.
Yeah.
It means they're going to be very up and down, they're going to be very volatile, they're going to have rounds they're going to win with just firepower, but they're going to lose rounds due to silly mistakes because they're not going to be drilled, they're not going to have these fundamentals practiced over and over again, at least not recently, and not together as a team. So, yeah, again, it comes down to these maps. How many puggy maps do we have? I say that, but we saw it before. Royals, they got 15-15. They drew against the Neighbours, who again many people suggested were the favourites, but it looks like the Neighbours have been sleeping throughout the whole of the group stage. So it's really hard to get a good grasp on Royals' performance. As on the one hand, on the first surface of it, you look at it and you think, oh, the Royals beat the Neighbours by far the favourite, so that must mean Royals are incredible. But as we mentioned before, the Neighbours look like to be sleeping.
Yeah, the Neighbours have looked a little bit shaky, even in our opening game of the day.
A little bit shaky is an understatement, I'll be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah. From standing behind them and from insider info, they've got very little sleep, so they're quite literally sleeping on the job. Which means as we saw in the game, we saw the results, we saw how they played.
Yeah.
It showed in the play. We even against the Bin Men is 16-4 win for the Neighbours, but
even in that game, and I think credit to the Bin Men, because as much as the Neighbours were sleeping a bit, they did actually have some really nice moments in that game. They played some tight rounds. Their team play was good, but the individuals on the Neighbours are still going to outclass there. But even still, in that game, we saw plenty of whiffs.
Plenty of opening picks given away, plenty of opportunities, and a lack of cohesion and team play. The Neighbours just weren't playing together. And that's something which, if they continued, if its sleep was the issue, waking up's not going to help if they got literally no sleep. So that could play a massive component in the result we saw with Royals, which let them top the group and brings us here to face against Next in Line, who came second in the group to Al-Fatih.
Yeah. And we'll have a look at Royals' run quickly. We'll break that down. So their opening game in round 1 was against DE_lads. They won that 16-1. Their next game was against the Lizards in round 2. That was 16-6. Bin Men International. Now, I was watching a 7 a.m. game while this happened, and just over the row was the Bin Men. And at one point, they were winning against Royals. They were up, I think, 10-7. Won a pistol round on the second half as well, and they were looking quite good. They ended up falling apart a bit on their T side of Ancient.
Yeah, it was Ancient, yeah.
The finally Royals seemed to get a grip. They had a good control of lane. But even still, 16-11, that both highlights how well Bin Men have been playing, but also perhaps shows there's a bit of trouble on certain maps from Royals.
Yeah, from what I could tell from speaking to Swaggy afterwards, was it was complacency. They didn't really, again, in typical Swaggy fashion, he comes up with a sort of, we didn't try, which it's a common excuse, which I'll be honest, Swaggy uses a lot. It is, we didn't try, which on the same hand, I still believe that actually it's fair enough to say you didn't try against Bin Men International. But eventually he had to start micromanaging and in-game leading, coming to that second half, and that's what took them over the line potentially.
Yeah, and then their game in round 4 was against Diablo. That was 16-1. That's another strong game. And then, as we mentioned, their last game, which led them to topping the groups, was a 15-15 tie against the neighbours, and they ended up winning on, or topping the group off of round difference because of that. So Royals have had a good run, and topping the group, that's about what you can hope for, and it gives you a really nice setup. Unfortunately, still against a team like Next in Line.
Yeah, at the same time, I think Royals were going to prefer this. If the options were between Next in Line or Al Fatiak, I think Royals would take Al Fatiak. Sorry, Next in Line. Yeah, they want to play against a team. They want to play against someone who's predictable. Al Fatiak, you're not going to be able to know what's going on because they're going to be playing so random. They're going to be playing really puggy style. You can have Jack B running in your face. You can have Kreitz running at your face. You don't know what's going on because you're not going to be able to read them because they're not going to be playing together. They're going to be relying heavily on their firepower. So I think again for Royals, Next in Line is probably the preferred team.
Yeah, absolutely. To have a look at the rest of the quarterfinal upper bracket, just to let you know which games are going on simultaneously while this is. We've obviously got Royals Next in Line. That's the game here on the stream. 7 a.m. are playing against, grouped one last time. The shortened version of that really confused me for a second. That's a team with the Dombox, Nelly J, Pandas, Guffy, and Blazed on it. Then the neighbours are taking on Al Fatiak. That is probably going to be the other close game from this setup.
Especially if the neighbours don't wake up. They've had a 1.5 hour break for what they call lunch. It's going to be even longer potentially, depending on how long it takes them to get on the server, and they're going to need that to wake up, take as much caffeine as they can, because Al Fatiak, they're going to take any advantage they can. And like I said, Kreitz, Jack B, they're just going to come running, and that's not to mention you then got the 3 Raptors players coming up behind them who are going to be closing it out. Yeah,
I can imagine the Al Fatiak players are going to be chomping at the bit to play these guys, because Jack mentioned it in an interview, which will be coming at some point over the weekend. That he really wants to play against. Obviously, he really wants to play against the Smooya mix. It's the firepower that's in that. Coming in as one of the favourites. So if they can claim a scalp here, then that sets them up nicely. And then the last best of 3 in the quarterfinal is Lynx versus Verdant, which we saw Verdant earlier.
Yeah, they look good on the CT side, considering they look promising. They're again brand new lineup, relatively so. Their CT side looked really good in the way they played the rotations. Again, not against really tough opposition. The tough opposition played cohesively, played together, but that also meant they were super readable, especially for Verdant. They read it really well. The rotations were just sublime on the CT side.
Yeah. To have a look at the lower bracket, the Lizards are taking on Sloppenheimer in a best of 3. Pirates are taking...
That's the Welsh Pirates.
Unscrewed the Bleach. And Binmen International taking on Genitex. And then Bin Chilling are taking on 7 p.m. So that's the lower bracket. Best of 3s.
2 Binmen teams in the playoffs. Who would have thought? Who would have
Who would have seen it coming?
I never thought I'd be alive to see the day.
No, I mean...
But here we are.
Lost for words, frankly. A really nice performance. I'm curious to see how far Binmen International go.
Yeah, Genetics, that's going to be a difficult one. So Genetics, if you're looking at their history, at least for this group stage, they got absolutely destroyed by their tougher opponents, but then they absolutely destroyed their weaker opponents.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the scores,
16-2?
16-2, 16-1 and 16-4 versus their weaker opponents who were seated below them. And then they got 16-0'd by Al Fatiak, 16-0, and then 16-3 by Next in Line.
Yeah, I mean, their results are so unbelievably one-sided.
Yeah.
It's wild looking at the...
The question is, do you think Binmen International are above or below them? Because whatever it is, if they're above them or below them, it's going to be one side in that favour. That's what, judging by these results. Because I think Binmen International might surprise them.
Yeah, I think they've been playing really well. I was standing behind them earlier, and Dwight's doing actually a really good job of tempering all of the personalities on the team and making sure that everyone's calm, focused, getting everybody wired and ready to go, but also on a level where they're going to play well, play cohesively. So I've been really impressed. Sat himself right in the middle. It was great. He took a pause. He took a pause earlier. He's like, "Guys, just chill out." And like
that's
a wave of calm.
That's the magic words. Guys, chill out.
Yeah, and just a wave of calm descended over the whole team.
It makes you wonder why Australian CS isn't doing better if they've got that sort of power.
Because clearly they're primary talent
They're missing Dwag.
is on the
Missing.
casting desk.
Yeah.
There it is. But more importantly, back to Royals next in line, which is the game that's coming up very shortly.
That's the game we're supposed to be talking about. That is the game we're about to watch.
Yeah,
And
we're waiting on them joining the server. As is the case, it seems like after the afternoon break, everyone takes a bit of a liberty getting on the server. They just want to drag that break out as long as possible, as if an hour and a half wasn't enough.
yeah, an hour and a half wasn't enough. They're probably still there, sat there, just scranning their food, their land scran, as it were.
Yeah, the Lanscron.
Classic. But yeah, I really want to see these vetoes. I can't wait to actually see them and see if I can figure out how it goes. So if it goes how at least next in line predicted it to be, I think that's going to be an Inferno ban, Mirage ban.
Yep.
Then the picks, it's really hard to say what rules will go for, again, being a mix, but it depends what they're comfortable with.
Anubis could be a shout considering how far they took the neighbours.
Actually, let's just have a look right now. Just doing a little bit of research, exactly what matches. Does it say what maps they played?
Only for the first 2 rounds at the moment. So
No, that sucks. We'd be able to see what maps they play in the group stage. Anubis is a shout, but I also feel like it's a little bit predictable. They might just leave it in. Because it's a best of one, it means they've not necessarily picked it, it means they've left it in.
So Royals have played Overpass so far. That was
Okay.
their 16-1 game against D_lads. Against the Wizards, Vertigo win 16-6. If we can find the round 3 versus Bin Men International, that was on Ancient.
Oh, that was on Ancient, yeah. So they played.
They're spreading on the maps.
They played for 4 different maps.
Mirage 16-1. They've demonstrating quite a wide map pool, and then their last game obviously was that Anubis 15-15 against the neighbours. So that they've got a.
So we know Inferno's going, definitely, because as we can see they're not played.
They haven't played it.
Sort of reconfirms that
Yeah.
Swaggy's an Inferno here. It was either that or Mirage, but that just shows Mirage was left in, so they're Inferno haters. So Inferno's gone, which means Mirage will get banned by next in line, according to my sources, which is them. Then that leaves the picks, so I think it's likely to be an Anubis then, if that's the case, or Anubis for a third. And let me just double check what. Let's go back on this. Sorry, 1 moment. League history for next in line. Oh,
Theory crafting right now.
Theory crafting right now. You're watching it live, people. You're watching the brains at work. Yeah.
You'll see steam coming out of Tim's head in a minute.
It's either going to be Nuke, Overpass, and Vertigo is what one of the Finns shouted at me when I asked.
Okay.
But that just seems like the maps that they're going to pick or play is one of those.
Yeah, Royals is a different question.
Yeah, Royals is a different question. I've got no idea what they're going to pick. No idea.
It's exciting stuff.
That just, it's so open-ended.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. While we're here, I'm going to take a quick moment to talk about the sponsors. First of all, Noble Chairs. These chairs, they're really comfy. We're sitting here, chilling, casting, in the chairs, lovely and comfy. Secondly, Draytech.
I've never felt more comfortable.
Never felt more
In
comfortable.
my life.
There it is.
In my life.
Draytech, the next sponsor, they provided some lovely network switches for this event. Walking around the LAN hall, they're on lovely little monitor stands, elevated. Everyone's plugged in. It's all neatly organised.
It looks incredible.
Really nice.
Like, I've not seen cable management and sort of like switches look so good at Epic LAN.
Absolutely
Not since we've added Draytech at least. So it's Draytech. Incredible.
Draytech. Overclockers. That's another one.
Yeah, overclockers.
Compute parts.
Compute parts. Get them. That's why you want to get them. Support the UK. Get them from overclockers. You're gonna get really good service. I know that overclocker service is good because their home is just up in Stoke, so it's just quite near me. So just like an hour drive. And yeah,
Go
they've
get some
got
PC
great
parts.
service.
Yeah.
Yeah, PC
Obviously,
parts.
our headline sponsor, Intel. We had to go on the Intel PCs briefly.
Yeah, we did.
They look very smooth.
They did.
And they look very, very nice.
They're really nice actually. The way the actual towers themselves look really cool. So that's
yeah,
quite
the
impressive.
little Intel NUC things with those new Intel Arc GPUs. Very cool.
Yeah. Interesting to see where they go. God bless Intel.
Absolutely. It looks like the players are all in the server. At last. 5 minutes late, as they love to be. So we're just waiting on the vetoes, so that we can finally get the answer to the question that's burning into Tim's mind.
It's burning in my mind. I want to know what maps we're playing. I want to know. I want to know what we're playing.
Because I mean that is gonna
It could decide this.
It could decide it. Yeah.
Again, but the thing is, next in line, they've got, like I keep saying, they've got so many reps on Vertigo, but it looked like they didn't seem interested in picking Vertigo. It seemed like they want to pick Nuke or Overpass from talking to them. So I've got no idea where it's going to go. And even then, I think, let's do the math. So Inferno Mirage gone, that leaves Ancient Anubis to be picked. It's almost guaranteed that next in line to get 2 out of those maps, I think. Because Royals, they're going to ban Inferno. Mirage is going to be gone. Royals have only got 1 more ban to spend, so it means we're going to see 2, which means next in line are going to be on at least 2 maps, which are going to be really comfortable for them.
Yeah, next in line are going to end up having, I think, certainly a bit of a comfort edge in terms of they've obviously played all these maps together for a long time. They've the team that was put together before the last ESEA season, so they've had a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Which, considering they were able to put this roster again brand new, there was no like established core. They just put this roster together.
We've got the vetoes in.
We've got the vetoes. Let's have a look. Next in line, ban Mirage.
Called it. Royals ban. Oh, okay, no, never mind. Royals ban Nuke.
Royals have banned Nuke. Next in line have picked Vertigo, so we're going to have a nil Vertigo.
There we go.
Royals starting on the T side. They've picked T side.
That's not what I was looking at. Sorry, I'm shocked. But yeah, they picked T side. So T side Vertigo. It's really gonna. What's the word? It's really going to enable them with being a mix. T-side Vertigo can get really messy, especially working up towards ramp. It's almost all about ramp control. We've seen it at Catherine a couple of games recently.
Yeah.
There's some teams that just don't touch B or mid at all. They just default 4 players towards A, and just get messy up the ramp and just trade back and forth. So it's really going to go in the favour of next in line, starting on T compared to CT at least. Sorry, for Royals, that is gonna go into their favour. But again, it's a pick. It's a map which next in line have so many reps on.
I now see what you were shocked about, but we're going to get there. First of all, Royals Anubis.
Yeah, so that was the only idea we had, was to pick that Anubis.
Yeah.
After coming off of that 15-15 game against the Neighbours, perhaps getting a little bit too confident in that, though, relying on that result. Because, again, the Neighbours did not look good. They've not looked good all day, despite having, I think, all wins other than that draw. Yeah. They've not looked good. They've looked shaky. They've looked asleep, which could provide false confidence for Royals. But anyway, they picked Anubis.
And then next in line have banned Overpass. Royals have banned Ancient, and they looked shaky on that earlier against the Bin Men International lineup. So that makes sense. And then why you were so shocked is because
Inferno's left over. Swaggy's an Inferno hater. I even told next in line that it's likely that Swaggy's going to ban Inferno first. But they floated it left in line. So if we look, go back to the Vitas, if we look here, next in line probably banned Overpass, expecting them to pick between Ancient or Inferno, and knowing that Swaggy hates Inferno
and go Ancient.
Going Ancient, meaning we would have seen Vertigo and Anubis Ancient. But instead, we've got Inferno. Royals next in line, sorry, going to be really caught off guard because Inferno, they don't play it.
Yeah,
they don't play Inferno at all. I'm pretty sure next in line, Inferno's next in line's banned. So if they don't close this out in 2, we're going to be seeing an absolute back and forth of an Inferno game, I reckon. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, should we get to that third map? It's going to be a juicy one.
Yeah. I really want to see it. I really hope we go to 3 now.
Yeah? The famed Inferno hater versus next in line.
Yeah, which is their permaban, I think. Or it's at least a map they don't play. Which is going to really test them.
Yeah, and ultimately, that's what a playoff bracket's for. I think maybe the influence from such as TVS, Devran, saying, we're really comfortable on Inferno. I mean,
that's
TVS.
True. Inferno is a map which, again, is similar to Mirage, but I'd say even more so. A lot of teams have played. Everybody's going to have reps in it. You play it. It's one of the most played maps in Pugs, just after Mirage.
Yeah.
And as a team, so many teams play it. So many teams have practiced it. Even if your team permabans it, the team you played with before would have practiced it a lot. And the fundamentals are so simple, but so important, and rely so heavily on it. The way you work map control on Banana and mid. These players in TVS and Devran, they're definitely going to have this down. They're definitely going to understand it.
And TVS, in his main roster, obviously he's here mixing, but in the team that he actually plays in, they're happy to float Inferno. So I imagine that's a map that he's comfortable on. As an AWPer, that's a big hitter. You want them to be comfortable. You want them happy.
Oh, 100%. But if the AWPer's happy on Inferno, you're going to have a good game.
Yeah. And so I can imagine that's probably a reason why they've ended up floating it, especially with, even if, with Swaggy saying, "Oh, we weren't
I
trying."
think that's a really, honestly, floating that Inferno is really smart when you think about it, because they're a mix. They want to catch next in line off guard as much as they can. So by leaving an Inferno, even if it doesn't go to a third, the fact that Inferno's on, even if they don't like the map, they're going to have rattled the mentality of next in line, because they wouldn't have expected that coming in.
Yeah, and they're going to be under pressure to try and finish this in 2.
Yeah.
If it starts to get close, and oh no,
Yeah.
Inferno's in the mix, and we're not happy with Inferno, could be trouble.
Yeah.
It is worth noting, preseason prep, we don't actually have the maps from the playoffs run, so it's possible that they did play Inferno during the playoffs.
Yeah.
And obviously it was a long playoffs run, so it's possible they played it there. But and I'm pretty sure even in their playoffs run, they only dropped 1 map.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean,
I'm pretty sure it was
they went
2-0s.
8-0 in playoffs through an upper bracket run, so that's definitely believable.
Yeah.
And again, looking at the picks, they picked Vertigo. It's the most played map in the regular season. It's the only map they lost as well in the regular season, but it's the most wins as well, with 5 wins being against Team 1for1, Applause, Q8, Jupal, and Ukrainian Falcons. Honestly, I don't know any of those names, I'll be honest. I know Red Dragon, and there was the one they lost to.
That's open though for you, isn't it?
Yeah, that is open. Exactly. That's the asterisk which is going to come with next in line success. They had an open. They won open, huge win.
Yeah.
Like, you win. If you win, you get advanced. If you come second, you don't. So they've secured themselves an advanced spot. It's huge. It's a massive success that they've done. They've proven that they can handle the pressure in a grand final of open.
Yeah.
But
That's online.
the level of applause, the level of competition they faced hasn't always been.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, the thing is with open, you'll always get a few stacked teams every season. Like,
Well, take next in line, for example. You get a team who's
Yeah.
going to get advanced, so they've got to be an advanced level team. You
Yeah.
get teams who disband, form new teams. They don't have a spot to take, so they have to go up through open.
yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, sometimes you'll get teams, a core still just manages to survive with 2 players, because
Yeah.
you can save a spot with just 2 players in ESEA. And then they bring in 3 new players and they save whichever league they were in, and then they can carry on from where they left off. But with next in line, because it was brand new, they had
Yeah.
no slot to take, and so they had to go through open, which
Yeah.
they did spectacularly. 13-1 in regular season, 8-0 in playoffs. I mean, it's a hell of a run. Like 8 best of 3s.
Yeah.
It's a lot of testing, even if, and it will filter down naturally, because of those few top teams that are stacked will eventually get to a certain point in the playoffs, and then they will play each other.
Whilst we're analysing this, one thing we've not mentioned, which puts some even bigger asterisk over all of this, is they're using Wolfie as a stand-in. They don't have the full lineup. Next in line, they play with
Yeah.
Mad. Mad, statistically, was our highest rated player in ESEA Open in both the playoffs and the regular season. Only just, so it's not a massive margin. It's not like he's a be-all and end-all for the team. But they're missing him, and they've got Wolfie standing in instead. Wolfie, a player who's had a lot of experience in multiple different teams. He's not stayed on one team for too long, not recently at least. Most recently playing as a stand-in slash Earl for Viperio.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of experience. I hope maybe he's going to be learning a lot from the likes of Artis, the players who have been to the RMR. Just like Extinct, who's over on the Neighbours, who's playing in the RMR. But
yeah. And
yeah.
I mean, his teammates as well. A lot of experience there. Zulu, 12 seasons of main. I mean, that's a serious amount of main. 2 advanced as well.
I was going to say one of those seasons he played with me.
Oh, well, there it
No,
is.
2 of them, because we played in Black Hand as well. Never mind. And Lucent. There you go.
Very nice. Dutchy, 4 advanced seasons.
Yeah.
5 main seasons, 5 intermediate seasons. The Dutchy, I think some of those advanced seasons were with LVN in 7am.
Yes, they were. So they were Phoenix at the time. I think they qualified from advanced, from main into advanced together. And as we saw in the interview, he wants to get his revenge on them.
He does, and I really hope that he gets to. I think that series would be a banger. Are you trying to figure out if that's
I'm going to see if
possible?
7am and next in line are going to face each other. Let's have a look at the upper bracket. They're on
If
the same
both-
side of the bracket. So 7am, they're on. They won their group.
Yep.
They're going to be playing against one last time. In the upper bracket, and if they win, which they're favoured to do so, they'll be facing the winner of this game. So if next in line win, they could be facing 7am. So Dutchy could get his wish to play them and get revenge.
I hope it happens.
Yeah.
I like it when players give it a little bit and they're like, yeah, I want to beat this team. I want to show them, which is exactly what Dutchy did in the interview that you saw just before this game. And the fact that he now gets the opportunity to get that revenge, provided he wins this one, that's juicy.
And another added layer of context, the teams are playing for more than just making it into the upper bracket. They're playing so they don't have to get up so early tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for those who haven't followed the schedule, after this game today, the next game will be tomorrow, and the first upper bracket game starts at
1 p.m.
1 p.m. So they don't have to play till 1 p.m. Whereas if they lose this game, they have to play the first game tomorrow in the lower bracket, which is going to be at 10 a.m.
It's a whole 3 hours.
That's a 3-hour extra sort of break to prep and not wear yourself down. And I know as a player who's played through these, you do not want to be in the lower bracket coming in tomorrow morning.
No.
You have to get up so much earlier. 10 a.m. start, so you want to be there and warmed up. So if you're the sort of player who likes to be prepared and ready, likes to be warmed up, you've then got to get there even earlier.
Yeah, and it's
if
also...
if you want to be clean as well, this is on land, you don't want to stink. You've got to shower as well. That takes even more time to get up. So you've got to get up at something like 8 in the morning.
And it's also the long route. If you go through the upper bracket, quarterfinal, semi-final, final, sorted. You drop down into the lower bracket, then you have...
You have to play twice as many games, you get half as many breaks, and it's a marathon, not a sprint, quite frankly. It's one of the things a lot of players underestimate. They burn out, they take so much caffeine that they start crashing, and then they start relying on more and more caffeine to the point where their wallet pays the price. But yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. In reality, you've got to perform game after game after game after game.
That's why lower bracket runs so impressive. Yeah. When you see a team drop down, especially like when you see a team drop down out of the quarters straight into the lower bracket, and they go all the way through, and end up at a grand final and potentially sometimes winning it. It's a no mean feat. Yeah. So we'll be going live very shortly. I've been told the players are in. Obviously the vetoes are set. Just a reminder of that: Vertigo, Anubis, and Inferno. We're going to be seeing both teams opting to start on T side as well.
Both teams, so
both teams have opted to start on their T side. If I've read.
Oh, to be fair, no, that makes sense. Let me just double check. Yeah, they've both teams starting T. That makes sense because obviously Vertigo T side is going to favour the more puggy side. You want to start on the T side if you're a mix compared to if you're the team. So Royals make sense for them to put T side on Vertigo, and in contrast, Anubis. Historically, or at least recently, it's been the most T-sided map in the pool. It's slowly edged its way to be more and more balanced, but at the start, it was more T-sided, especially at the upper echelons of Counter-Strike.
Exciting stuff. We've got literally minutes before this kicks off, which I'm best of threes. I love best of threes. Best of ones, they're fine.
Yeah.
But especially when you can get a bit of a damp squib ending because of the format. It's
it's one of the issues of round robin. Round robin, it means everyone gets games played. So for BOIC, round robin is really good. It's really good. But when it comes to actually coming out with storylines from a tournament, the best of ones, it does mean that you do get those 15-15 draws, and obviously a lot of upset potential.
Yes.
Coming with these mixes, no one knows what to expect with the amount of mixes we get, especially in the Summer LAN. But it looks like we're going to be going into the game soon. I'm excited to see the Vertigo.
Kicking off the upper bracket for quarterfinals here at EPIC39, powered by Intel. Going to be kicking things off with the pistol round here on Vertigo.
Okay, so the game doesn't appear to be live so far. Okay, no, it is live.
Lovely. Right, let's have a look at the utility. Molotov. 2 Molotovs, in fact, on next in line. And also
4 flashes.
4 flashes.
This is going to be some sort of set play, it must be. So as we mentioned, they've got so many reps on this map, they've got to have plenty of pocket strats to pull out their arse.
And Royals have gone for a double drop of the Dual Elites and a flashbang on Swaggy. So TVS and Oscar are going to be the ones picking those up. Util deployed now into mid. Wolfie taking the point, but TVS going to get the headshot. Zulu trading things back. And Swaggy chiming in Oscar as well. TVS with the Dual Elites. It's just Otto B left. It's a shutdown from Royals to begin.
Yeah, a solid defense. Next in line, they didn't seem to get much done with those flashes getting taken down before they can do anything.
Oh,
and a lovely shot from Oscar as well.
And we've got a tech pause. I think just soak that pistol round in. I mean, Royals, really dominant stuff. Next in line, they had a plan. They had the utility. They just weren't able to get any of the kills. It was quite a big mid stack from Royals.
Yeah. Oh, it seems Royals have actually started on the CT as well. They haven't picked T.
You're absolutely right. Interesting.
Yeah, that's going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works in the preparation. But yeah, next in line, they didn't manage to get the bomb down. So if you look at the money, they've only got 2,000 between most of their players. So it's going to be if they got a bomb down, you'd see a really good buy coming out. You'd see them be able to challenge Royals. But instead, Royals, they're going to be able to hopefully, well, potentially get a free round should they play this correctly.
So round 2. Kicking off here. Gone for a full eco.
Yeah, as they should. Only a P250 brought up on Zulu,
Oh,
but
and I like
he was able to get... He got the only kill in the previous round, so that's $300.
They're spreading their plane slow. And I like this because they bait out all the utility. Royals, as CT, you have your initial utility, but then also you'll be sending a bit more down. But actually, they're just walking it down the ramp and taking some fights. TVS opening. A couple of kills.
Yeah, playing with confidence. Royals here, they want to take on lap control, they want to shut down next in line. The next in line's plan here is to wait down the time and let the util just get wasted, so Royals have to reinvest into something. In the meantime, Swaggy gets caught over-aggressing. The MP9 goes down into the hands of Dutchy, and it looks like they're trying to get their way onto the B-bomb side, but Royals have rotated and do have a nice little bait and switch set up.
Dutchy, last one left. He's got himself a kill onto Devran as well. That's $600 farmed on the MP9. But Hartles shuts him down before he can do anything else. So it will be 2-0.
See the first buy round coming in for next in line. We've got a little bit of a weak util. Again, because they chose to go for that third round buy, means the util isn't the greatest. They've gone for 5 AKs. But the AK, the util, sorry, it's perfectly viable with what they've got, especially on Vertigo. It's on a much smaller map, but they are still going to have to use their util as efficiently as they can.
Yeah, Royals not super aggressive, holding on to the ramp, and next in line are going to get it with relative ease here.
Yeah, playing a little bit more reactively. In the meantime, though, Swaggy, he's taking really deep beast there, so this is a lot of info, which means Royals, they can stay 3 players towards A.
And this off angle's disgusting. I mean, nobody's going to expect.
Yeah, the issue is he can't fall back. So if next in line go with multiple people, sure, he'll get one. But again, because the site is so small, because the map is so small, it means they'll get one, and the information won't be soon enough. They'll be able to get to the site super quickly. Yeah, they've even stacked 4 players now.
Or TVS. That was lovely. The spam from Otto. TVS hears the reload and realizes he can take a bit of space. Exchanges a few shots, has to fall back. But really proactive play. And in fact, this is a problem. Otto, straight up, taking Devran in the side of the head, and it's just kills all over for next in line. Swaggy, the last one left. Against 5.
I don't know what they were trying to do here. Did they run out of util or something? Surely they had the util to actually slow them down, but they had the read. They had 4 players sat on the site. They read it perfectly based on the information that Swaggy had, so all the rest of the next in line players, except maybe 1 player lurking in mid, they were all setting up for A. So if they had not given them anything, maybe they just wanted to shut them down early.
And I was praising TVS. Cappy got the kill there, so flawless round from next in line. I was praising TVS for being proactive on lane, but then he backs away, and it seems like he didn't tell his teammates, because Hartles was still looking at ramp. Devran obviously was still looking at ramp as well, which means Otto could just come out and get free kill.
Yeah, the push just didn't seem coordinated enough. There wasn't the util, the flashes to actually get anything advantage. But TVS, he's pulling out the AWP here. We've got a force buy for Royals. They want to keep this momentum going, not let next in line get anything chained together. So they've gone, what's this, a 5-7, 2 Deagles, an MP9, and an AWP. So that AWP is going to be pivotal for Royals. You want to see TVS get this in the action, get them an opening pick.
Yeah, ramp take. Coming out next in line, getting that. TVS just sitting here in the back lines. He's just chilling. He's waiting for somebody to come and walk into his crosshair. The issue is, of course, a couple of good flashes, and that takes him completely out. Oscar spotted Otto, and he's got the 5-7 in close range. It's not going to matter. Otto's good for 2. Oscar and Devran both going down immediately. TVS now forced to back away by the utility.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to retake. They've got no kit on 1 smoke. There's not much they can do here, especially against 5 players. Even if they get a smoke down on the bomb, you've got 5 players just going to spray you down. It's a save. You've got to save that AWP. TVS actually staying around here. I want to see him saving.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I mean,
the only thing I can see he can try and gain from that is get a kill, get an AK down for Swaggy to pick up, so he can save something useful as well.
Yeah. It doesn't look like next in line are going for too much of a lurk, although I say that.
But they are already spread out.
Yeah, no, they are. They're actually spread out quite a lot, so it's going to be difficult for Royals to save this. They realise how important taking these weapons away is going to be, and Otto might have just spotted the head of Swaggy there.
Yeah, these Finns, I've been speaking to Dutchy, and he says that they've got the perfect combination. The Finns are super aggressive, apparently. Yeah. They've got a lot more passive players in their British players, and these Finns just, they like to add so much spice.
Yeah.
Which is ironic coming from such a cold, snowy country.
Yeah. And, I mean, you think Finnish teams, like, tend not to be as hyper-aggressive as Dutchy says that these guys are comfortable being. Swaggy, perfect flashes. It's lovely stuff.
He stands no chance, he's got no support. Swaggy just gets taken down, fully blinded. Dutchy getting that opening pick, and that's the sight. There is just a plan. Again, retake opportunity is next to nothing for Royals, unless Otto gives them a free gun here, which he doesn't. He manages to get 2. Otto,
God.
He's had enough.
There's that AWP coming in though. Otto taken out, and Hartle's able to grab that AK. If they can save that into next round, it's a great boon for their economy.
Artus goes down.
Yeah, Hartle's
Overstaying is welcome, maybe trying to get a couple kills, keep his stats a little bit high.
This is going to be difficult for TVS. Zulu right round the corner. And ultimately, him being low doesn't matter. One shot.
Ooh.
Just like that with a no-scope. Lovely stuff. TVS, though.
We can see his skill with the AWP. It comes through.
Yeah.
It's really visible already.
But he's under pressure now, and Cape.
Just too quick. These Finns are so quick on this aggression.
Look at the money for next in line. 10k on Dutchy, 10k on Otto. 8 and 7 on Wolfie.
Wow, they've got so much money already. This is going to be really difficult for the CTs to break anything, especially when their money is the one on the back foot. They've lost this AWP, and their util isn't perfect.
Far from it. They have 1 incendiary, 3 smokes, and a few flashes in the seat. The incendiary's gone already.
The util goes already so fast because they have to use it to prevent any rushes and take any map control that they have towards A. They're the most pivotal part of the map, that ramp. They have to contest it as CTs unless they've got something else up their sleeve.
Methodical mid-control. Zulu and Dutchy just teaming up, getting that control, and Royal's not contesting it. Hartle's just chilling by the sandbags, trying to play an off angle. In the meantime, Swaggy's gone down.
Yeah, that's a big pick. Again, the B site taken down. Oh, this might have to push some good timing here. We just missed it.
He's going to go down to Zulu.
Yeah.
Zulu's got the angle. And there were 2 plays there, so even if Hartles is able to get one,
the only way he could drop that
is
is if they try and boost and he catches the bottom player off guard, which looked like they were perhaps trying to go for the boost, but...
Devran has taken Wolfie out in the meantime.
Yeah, it's nice to see Royals. They get a little bit proactive. The 2 other rotating players come in to help clear out mid, but in the meantime, yeah, they lost B and no one's there to cover it since the mid player's gone down.
Yeah.
So it's the B site for free. It's a 4 versus 3 as well.
Bomb planted. And Royals left to retake. No defuse kit, Tim.
Yeah, it's something which they've had to sacrifice again since their money is on the back foot. It seems like they're still prodding and poking for it. It seems like after that kill, though, they will go for a save, which they need. They need these guns going into the next round. If they save, the issue is I think if they save, they're going to be baited into going for a force buy, which again, their odds won't be in favour.
Yeah, the money on CT side of the minute is so poor, and yeah, unfortunately, surviving with these 3 rifles, it'd be so tempting to just say, yeah, we can just drop a few rifles.
I'm almost certain they will. They're going to play with a nonchalant confidence. Royals.
Yeah.
They're just going to call. We've got 3 rifles. Let's just buy up around it. There you go. We already see a drop coming in. Another rifle bought.
Yeah, so figure out how they want to sort this one. It's going to be 5 rifles. Yeah, there's no way they had enough money for an AWP.
But it seems they're unsure whether they're force buying or not. TVS and Oscar, they've still got money left in the bank account.
Yeah, that's very strange.
I think that those are the ones who saved, so they had enough money to buy the util and everything, but then they've still got no kit. Okay, they've got 1 kit on Swaggy.
But also, they haven't fully invested in detail. Anyway, Wolfie, over the smoke, but traded by Devran, so actually...
Yeah, finally a positive looking round. The 4 versus 2. This is see what happens when you do save those rifles.
Yeah. Dutchy caught off guard. TVS boosted up a lot earlier into the round this time, which means Otto will have to clutch it up, gets 1. Molotov to cover his back, and another stunning quick scope onto Hartles, caught off guard, trying to get a bit aggressive with that MP9, but he's untradeable, and that gives Otto a window. He's got the bomb. He's got the AWP as well. He's only got 1 bullet, though. So a quick follow-up on the second player, if they decide to peek him at once, won't be possible. He needs to decide to reload at some point, but that'll give his location away. Royals playing together, Swaggy and TVS, doubling up on the ramp. And Otto working his way around. The timing's going to be everything here, and he catches it. Switches to the Tech 9 tag.
Is he going to be aware?
Swaggy's down, and yeah, TVS managed to slip the net around. Otto not ready for his knife out. TVS clutches it just about, but he made that so close.
Yeah, he did. That's a lot of damage, again, to the economy that's done. If we look Heartless, Swaggy, they're not going to have the money to buy. TVS will be able to drop one rifle over, so it's not the end of the world. But again, that's damage which, if they lose this round, we'll see the impact of it.
Yeah, Devran and Oscar both $0 in the bank account. Devran's gone down onto an MP9, as is Hartles. The AWP's on TVS. As we mentioned in the pre-game, very capable, very powerful AWP.
Yeah.
Has a good presence on the server.
It seems though that they've noticed a little bit of weakness in the B defense. They've managed to get open kicks onto Swaggy.
Still got
multiple
it.
teams, and there it is. Going for that B default. Wolfie though, the stand-in, does get taken down over the top of the smoke by Oscar. So that's going to eliminate any possibility of rotating unless they decide to reset here. But it looks like they're going to the bomb side, which is heavily stacked with 2 players. Still.
Oh, flash, it misses. TVS also going to miss a shot, and Kappa in the meantime's taken Hartles down. TVS is under so much pressure. Lands a no-scope, but immediately traded. 2 players left for Royals. And next in line have the bomb site. There's actually a good amount of utility left on Royals to attempt to retake, but it's whether they want to play this gambit. And it looks like...
Yeah, they should save. Saving is always the smart option. B site, it's quite difficult to retake. They do have good util for it, and they could have the opportunity. But Oscar low being the one with the kit. You can drop smokes now, but you can't drop kits. So
Yes.
If Oscar's got the kit, he's going to be the one on the bomb, and all it takes a single bullet to just get him off it. So,
And we saw in the third-person perspective there, look how diligent Otto's being in throwing guns off the map. They did come into this with guns, but I like to see it. It's thoughtful.
yeah, throwing that AWP off the map, it's important just in case, because the TVS, he's one of the heavier hitters.
Yeah, the
for
AWP
Royals.
especially.
He's one of the players who's got the most experience, and we've seen him before in previous tournaments. We know how hard a hitter TVS is on that Swedish AWP. But yeah,
Another MP9.
as we mentioned before, the money, because of the amount of damage was done, is weak, but thankfully they saved, so they're still able to get a buy to contest this round. But it looks like a little bit of a slower ramp presence for Nectar 9, starting from an A default, but Royals themselves as well, playing a little bit slower. Missed the smoke from Wolfie. Not what we want to see from him.
Yeah, he's trying to still use it to his advantage. He's got a slight one-way here, but it's nowhere near as effective as the one that it looked like he was lining up to throw.
Oh yeah, nowhere near. Still able to see that no map control is given, but if you look, that the 2 players from next in line, this entire time they're prodding towards B. They've taken the pit, and they're going for this boost, see if they can get a pick. Trying to abuse Swaggy here. He's not having a strong game so far. 2 and 6.
This smoke.
Oh, but are they ready? Heartless is also here. They've rotated 3 players over. This is a really good read from Royals.
The first kill here is going to be crucial.
That
And it's going to go the way of Royals. Swaggy catches Otto. The AWP taken out immediately. Kappa, that's a nice shot. One tough onto Swaggy. Spamming away now. Hartle's trying to recover. But he's just on an MP9. He needs to play these close angles and not give Kappa the opportunity to headshot at range. But he's jumping around the behind the box. They're going to know exactly where he is now, and they're closing in. Dutchy's going to get a team kill. Helping Hartles out a bit. Bazulu with another entry onto the side, traded by TVS again. We mentioned that AWP presence. Wolfie, though, has got so much space on the A bomb site, and he's able to take even more now. Surging into elevators. Oscar's not going to be ready for this on the rotation. Completely lovely stuff. Wolfie makes it a 1 versus 2.
It's a brilliant look. I was about to mention it as well. Whilst
TVS as well.
yeah, nice. I was about to mention it whilst Wolfie. Whilst they were pushing up to B, they still had Wolfie lurking up this entire time. They were still trying to prod onto the B site, but Royals read it, they stacked it. So I was literally just saying, guys, please reset in the back of my head. I was like, guys, please reset. If you reset, you're going to get yourself a nice default. Royals, they're overcommitted to one site, so at the end of the day, the lurk does come out in the end, and Wolfie does close it out. Big round from him, a lot of impact from the substitute.
And that's what you want to see as well. Oscar almost caught, in fact, Zulu going down early on. 3 players stacking into the top of ladder. It's a lot of information. And next in line should be able to recover, but this is against pistols and armor.
Yeah, choosing to keep conditioning that ramp. They know that ramp is such an important position, and recently they've not been going so heavily towards it. So whilst they're on pistols, they've had a quick reminder, like, yeah, ramp's still a possibility. We can still take it. And it's a really nice plant as well for Dutchy. I like this plant because it's so much easier to spam. It's so much harder for you to ninja defuse as CT because of where it's planted.
Yeah, he's in hot water a little bit though, but Otto coming to bail him out. Flashbang to go through as well. Dutchy not content to sit on his laurels. Gets 2 kills for it. TVS able to trade back 1. There's only 3 plays left, and Otto just plucks him out of the air.
Shoots him out the sky.
Otto's doing clay pigeon shooting on the A-bomb site.
Do they do that much in Finland, do you reckon? Clay pigeon shooting?
I don't know, you know. Maybe.
We'll have to ask him after this.
We'll ask him after the game. Guns for both teams. TVS and Otto both on the AWPs. Utility not as good for the CTs as it is for the Ts, but it's respectable. They can work with this. Swaggy's getting aggressive.
Yeah, he seems to be having a lot of trouble holding that down this B site, anchoring it. It's such a pivotal part of the map that if you have a weakness, it's so easy for the Ts to abuse. But look at this! Look at this, Otto! He just runs up dry with the AWP, catches Swaggy changing positions. Swaggy just not ready for that at all.
The aggressiveness that Dutchy praised so much from these Finns. TVS trading 1 for 1. Zulu going down, Wolfie taking Devran. They're locked out of this B-bomb site already, Royals. And the next in line look poised to take an 8 because there's only 2 smokes and a flashbang left for Royals. A retake with just that. Smokes are great, but you need some flashes to blind people and get them off angles. And if they don't have that, especially on land, it's going to be so difficult. But TVS, that's a nice way to open things up. Otto B going down. Dutchy opting to get a bit aggressive playing behind the smoke.
They're going to be ready for the super late fan from Oscar. Dutchy going down, spam through the smoke. That leaves Kappa alone in the 1 versus 3. He does spot out Oscar on the flank, and this is going to...
He's not going to get the kill.
He wins the fight. That's really well done from Oscar, and somehow Royals, they managed to retake the site after such an impeccable opening. Like, it looked like Royals would have crumbled after Swaggy going down for free from Otto just walking up dry. But the Royals, they kept it together. Next in line made a couple of mistakes. They weren't ready. They weren't tucked up enough on that side. They didn't play together enough, and just a couple lapses in formation allowed Royals to just get back into that site without a casualty as well.
It's the same fashion they got it, with Otto being so solo. They lose it because it only works sometimes.
And in the meantime, they're switching up the pace, going fast towards mid. They know this is catching off the players off guard, and they do go 1 for 1. TVS able to get that trade.
TVS, such a consistent force. He's 15 and 5 for Royals right now. He's the only one who's putting up big numbers for them at the minute, just plugging away with that AWP.
Speaking of the AWP, on the other side of the map, you've got Otto. On the other side of the server, should I say, you've got Otto, 12 and 6, the highest fragger. Played really aggressive with the rifle. We've not seen him do too much with the AWP, other than, again, last round, just running up.
Flash from Dutchy, but it doesn't...
How is Otto here? What? He's walked up dry with the AWP.
I don't know how that one missed, but the second one certainly doesn't. Devran taken down. Otto's getting so much space. He's lurking with an AWP, Tim. Oscar finally shuts him down. 3 versus 2. Royals, again on the back foot. They're going into a retake. There's not a lot of utility, though, for next in line to try and hold this site.
Molly as well, and Wolfie's able to get a kill behind the flames.
Just leave Swaggy. And he's taking it as well. Wolfie, I mean, Wolfie holding that angle clean as you like.
Yeah. It's honestly, actually, a really nice play coming from next in line. So they rushed mid, and it causes such a heavy rotation from Royals that Otto is able to walk up dry with an AWP. And the next fight you have on A is deep in the broccoli hallway.
That's twice now Otto's just getting to places that he shouldn't be with an AWP.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a...
That's going to be a tilted for Royals, honestly.
Look at the space that TVS has just taken. He's completely cleared out mid. He opts not to go into spawn.
But at the same time, it's A side. It's the most important part of the map, and they're about to lock out the rotators from coming in so they can single out these 2 players inside. And as you can see, Devran does manage to win Zulu. No trade potential there.
Yeah, that's a big opening, and that allows Swaggy to strike. Dutchy going down. So 3 players left for next in line, and they don't have any util to get any further either. Otto, it's going to come down to raw firepower here. Trades 1 for 1. Swaggy goes down. Wolfie taken out. It's just Otto with the world on his shoulders. He's got 1 kill already. He needs 4 more, and it's not going to happen. Oscar swinging out with the USP.
Again, it's that push you mentioned from TVS. He clears out mid so soon that they can get that rotate in. And just as next in line are about to crunch on those 2 A players, the rotate comes in and it saves their life. Next in line, though, at the same time, they didn't have good trade potential. There was no one there to back up Zulu taking that fight onto the lane. If they had someone, if Dutchy was just a bit further forward, maybe, then that's Devran going down, and that makes the site so much easier to take, and then you can hold it on both flanks.
Next in line's money looking a bit fragile. Zulus have to drop down to the Gillinor to get the utility required, and Dutchy sizzling a little bit in scaffolding. Util deployed, though, and in fact, Dutchy got himself up lane. Otto in tow. Devran, though, pushed so far up. TVS able to get one. Traded immediately. Dutchy continues the tear. Devran's got a kill, but he's taking a lot of damage in the meantime. Problem is, Dutchy is now isolated. He's an island on this A-bomb site. And he's got to try and reposition and get this kill.
At the same time, so is Devran. He's an island towards sandbags. And Dutchy, he's rotated round and spotted him out.
Molotov's
that
going to be huge. Comes in, flash at perfect timing to allow him to retreat. That's unfortunate for Dutchy.
He's just in a 2 versus 3. Swaggy did get a kill on the other side of the map.
But Zulu, the utility I mentioned, Zulu's here over at B. Swaggy now rotating back in, but he's still got the full nade set that he started the round with. He hasn't used any of it.
The thing is, if their headsets hadn't turned up in that land hall, Zulu might have heard Swaggy rotating there. He heard him come back to the site, and that happened at the exact moment they started posturing towards A. In the meantime, though, Devran does finally manage to take down that Dutchy.
Yeah, Zulu. Herculean effort required now. 25 seconds left as well. He has got the bomb, and he's got full nades, but he's only on a Galil. 3 players to find, and the time ticking dangerously low now. If he wants lost bonus next round, he's going to have to get a shift on. Drops a smoke to allow himself to plant the bomb. Spamming Hartles is going to get it.
Going into the last round now as well. Last round of the half. TVS getting that AWP up, and next line's money's broken. They've got to force this up.
Yeah, for the last round, they have to force it. And
full util and lots of fast weapons.
I'd love to
got
see it.
3 Tech-9s and a Mac-10. Kappa coming in with a Deagle as well.
I imagine these guys have some sort of set strap ready for this.
I'd hope so, but at the same time, they're not going for an all-in-play. Those all-in-plays did work for getting these opening picks, but it seems like they're playing a little bit slow at the start, waiting for the pushes.
Zulu spotted. Tech-9 revealed as well. Dings through the box.
This is going to get caught off guard, falling back. The A1S, there's 20 bullets.
Yeah, the Wolfie storming straight in. The spacing wasn't very good, but it doesn't matter. And they've got the B bomb site now.
In a 5 versus 3 as well.
And
as long as they don't give up too many kills, they should.
Ooh! Wolfie spamming through. Almost got 2 TVS left. And, I mean, it's too much to ask for to get 5 kills in that situation. So 9 rounds for next in line. 6 for Royals. And looking at the scoreline here, TVS, top of the scoreboard, 16-8. Cooled off a little. And in fact, his counterpart on the other side, Otto, has matched him for kills.
Yeah, 16. He also has had so much impact getting into these lurky spots. He's got a real thorn in the side for Royals.
Yes, it's been a battle of the AWPs here on Vertigo, I feel like, with 2 very different playstyles as well. But, pistol round, we have a full set of util for Swaggy, smoke and 2 flashes, and a similar double Julie setup with Dutchy and Otto.
It looks like they're poshing towards a B split, so they've got 3 players waiting outside B main, and these 2 players who've just made contact with Otto in mid, but the counter flash is beautiful. They're just a bit far forward, they've caught.
Otto taking a lot of damage. Reload as well. Hartles opts to not capitalise. Kappa and TVS both getting kills for their respective teams. So 4 versus 4. Wolfie from quad. TVS plugging away with the USB. Oh, it's lovely. He's got 2 kills.
And he knows where Wolfie is. Oh, but Wolfie's too quick on that pistol.
But his teammates are all falling around him. It doesn't matter. He's put it into a 1v1.
Oh! Wolfie! What a 4K. That crisp aim. I remember, again, I spoke to Artist the other day about what it's like playing with Wolfie, and he said the one thing he noticed about him is how quick his aim is. It's the quickest he's ever seen out of any player. And he just showed that. Perfect example of it. That crisp 4K was unbelievable.
Look at Royals, they're reeling.
Yeah, Royals, they're having to buy up some Deagles and P250s here, just to give them an opportunity to maybe catch some players off guard, but yeah, money's just bad. A bit of a grouping up here towards middle with these pistols. See if they can try and swarm, catch them off guard. Dutchy just caught off, changing position.
TVS again. So consistent this game. Kappa from behind. Look at the cleanup. 4 kills.
This Finnish aggression. It's such an X factor for next in line.
I mean, how do you predict it? Do they know where they're going to push?
That's a good question. We'll have to ask him.
I'm sure they'll give us an incredibly deadpan and honest answer as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's farmed so much cash.
Yeah, that's huge, especially for the Finns. Like, he can just drop over an orb next round to Otto if he needs to be. Or they could just stick with the MP9s and just hold W, which, honestly, maybe they do that with an orb anyway.
What's interesting, Otto hasn't opted to do a full util set. He's just bought 1 flash.
So maybe he's going to save the ult for himself. Dutchy does go down. That's an opening pick for Royals.
And they might be wishing they had that extra util now because there's not a whole lot left.
Yeah, 1:30 on the clock, and they do have a map control, which is nice. They've got most of ramp. They've got. Looks like they're posturing towards B now to take the pick control as well. Flash is being dropped over. It looks like Rules are grouping up here. This is nice. They've got the man advantage. They've also had the weaponry advantage. What you want to see is them group up and trading, just playing it together. They don't need to mess about with util. As soon as they get grenades out, it's an opportunity for them to get shot without a trade. So again, ideally, they group up together, trade. All you need is like one person, maybe throwing the util for them. Just a flash is nice.
Zulu's positioning.
Might get caught in position. No, he doesn't catch his swag. He
2
angles a
kills.
second. That's big. 3 versus 3, and such early information so deep towards A that Royals are now just capitalising. But Wolfie,
It's TVS again.
yeah, Wolfie perhaps overextending a little bit. If he hit there, then he guaranteed himself 1 kill. And TVS spamming Otto through the smoke. Just leaves Kappa in the 1 versus 3. He does have the quick flank though. This is the sort of silver lining. He might be able to slip in the net as the players fall back.
There's a first kill. Oscar hiding.
He's heard that reload though. Oscar had to reload it.
Ooh, he's making a bit of a meal of it. Tags Oscar down so low, and now he's just trying to buy time for Devran to strike from behind him. And Oscar's going to land the kill anyway. Nice headshot. Puts Royals up on 7.
Yeah, an all-important 7. It's going to keep them in this game and it's keep us close here.
And now let's have a look. 2 M4s. An MP9, a Deagle. An Otto on the AWP. So we've got some safe hands here. It's not actually that bad from next in line considering the circumstances.
All part of that cash which Kappa farmed on MP9 as well.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit left over even.
And there it is. Heart's taken out immediately the top of the ladder.
Yeah, a big pick with the AWP. He's now going to see where else he can use that. And looks like Kappa just changing position right as Swaggy peaks, but he's got that info. In the meantime, they made very little presence towards A, and Next in Line have cleared it all out. So that's a lot of information for them. They know that A is mostly clear, B a little bit of presence, so they should react accordingly, especially with this man advantage. You see them lean to a 2-1-2 setup, so they've got 2 players bolstering that B site.
It's going to be interesting for Royals and to see where they go. They're grouping up towards middle at the moment. They've got options here that can go through Heaven onto B, which it looks like because they've got Oscar waiting outside. But Next in Line, they seem ready for this. They've rotated 3 players over. TVS, though, going to trade things right back. Otto taking out their end, and that's the AWP. That's a big hitter.
There's a gap in that smoke. He blocked into his teammate.
Devran in Heaven now. Difficult position. Dutchy able to catch him in transition. Kappa getting a kill as well. Wolfie will go down, but Dutchy able to upgrade to an AK now. And TVS and Swaggy, they're coming from the same angle. Nice kill. Dutchy unable to trade immediately, but does manage to get it in the end. TVS brings things into a 1 versus 1 against Zulu.
They're not going to be ready for it, but he's only got an MP9. He doesn't play the trigger discipline, catches TVS just in the back.
Zulu can just sit and wait now. TVS has to plant the bomb, and he's going to go for it. Zulu needs to be careful it's not a fake. He's going to realise it isn't now, and that gives him time to buy some room, but TVS is so ready. He's on 26 kills.
That was such a nice play from Next in Line as well. They had the read. They had all of ramp control. They knew they were going towards B because that was the only place they made presence, and they stacked it, and they almost caught them off guard. You saw Royals look a little bit lost as well once they realised it was a stack, but TVS, he just bails them out of it. As you mentioned, 26 and 11. This guy is on another level right now.
Yeah, I mean, the next player is Oscar on 12 kills. TVS is the reason why Royals have so many rounds this game. Hartle's under a lot of pressure, only able to get 1 with the mid-push.
Yeah, it's a picked up AK. We'll see what they can do with this. Hopefully, you want to see them group up, maybe play a trade. The opportunity for Oscar, he's cleared this B bomb side.
He's rectifying
That's 2 of the USPs taken down, yeah.
Yeah, this should be fairly easy cleanup. Kappa doesn't have any armor either, so the only way he's going to be able to get a kill is that first bullet headshot holding an angle. Otto's playing with fire. I can't get over TVS. I mean, we praised him up before the game. He's playing so well.
But all importantly, we're going to see a buy round coming out next round. So if Kappa saves this rifle, that's going to be really healthy for their economy, for their util, and also coming into further rounds to give them a little bit of a bolster. But there the AK goes. Devran on the hunt, takes down Kappa. And only leaves Otto with just a USP. There's nothing to save. Oh,
No way. He's sticking it.
No,
they're on the ramp. Okay.
I'll say he didn't hit either, did he?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I think he was after the time. So
I'm still getting used to the multi-laid minimap.
Yeah.
So it threw me off a little bit, but of course it's the 2 levels on top of each other, and my brain just isn't smart enough to handle that kind of.
That's right. I hope these players are though.
I hope so. Alt back out on Otto.
Yeah.
No alt for TPS still.
As mentioned, this is a full buy round for next in line. They've got a nice healthy buy. The util is going to start getting used here. They have information on ramp control. That HE, a little bit of chip damage to TVS, who's currently getting a bit funky inside that smoke.
Yeah, TVS wanting to catch the angle on Otto.
Oh, there is Otto. Takes the pick over the top of the box for Devran, and even
so
he's smelling out TVS. He knows he's there, but
so well timed.
So close.
4 versus 4. TVS has got a nice advanced position here.
Look at the
and he's
information.
upgraded to the AWP. He's gone straight for it.
It's the information on map control though. They've not got information on mid, and they've not got information on deep B, so they're going to be panicking with the lack of A control. The boost was almost perfect, but the timing just wasn't there. They've gotten in front of it. The smoke is good though. It locks them out of taking that lane position. Forces them into this right-hand side.
Zulu will have spotted the feet, and Dutchy's able to spam. It's perfect. TVS left in a 1 versus 4, and he's in sandbags. It's such a difficult position. And there's a Molotov as well to force him out. Dutchy getting the headshot, 12 rounds for next in line. They continue their 3-round lead.
Yeah, there was a really nice reaction there. Despite losing that pick, they go for the boost, and quickly they fortunately suss it out. They drop off the boost, drop that smoke towards default. It's a really strong smoke, and it's what you want to do if you want to commit to hold that Ivy position. It's really difficult for them to fall back to play retake, and they might as well hold for it. So drop that smoke. The players coming up the ramp won't be able to see you. And coming into this round, we do see a little bit of sacrifice of money up.
Oh, TVS so aggressive, and that's the round decided.
It should be, yeah. He's not stopping anytime soon.
He's up on 29. He's up on 29.
We do see Otto does get a hit, and Otto getting the second. That's the
it's
bomb.
A bomb. Swaggy's going to have to try and recover it, but he's on his own, and Otto's going to get the kill as well. Just as quickly as this round was leaned in Royal's favour at the beginning, it's taken away from them. Otto, he needs some support. Devran's going to come out, and Otto's still getting kills. TBS able to trade, but Kappa's in time. Next in line, they've come back.
Wow, what a shot from Otto. What an incredible round. But yeah, you mentioned it should be over. But so the CTs, the only thing they could do, they give up that A site. So they decide, let's push into T-spawn somewhere we can save. And they end up finding the bomb. Because Royals themselves, they weren't ready for it. Next in line weren't, but neither were Royals. The bomb was miles away and it gets caught off guard. And look at the money that Royals are left with.
I mean, Dutchy mentioned it, and we keep going back to it. He's saying the X factor of these Finns being so aggressive. Otto, I mean, he just continues. He's full of confidence. But Otto's calculated aggression there saved the round.
Yeah, most players won't aggress or play that aggressively, and they wouldn't have won that round. You look at a lot of teams, those sort of rounds. I mean, there's nothing much to say about it. Even Royals weren't ready, though, to be fair. The bomb deep in T-spawn, you'd want to see it closer to that A-ramp.
Dutchy continuing to clean house in middle. I mean, just swagging TVS. Swaggy's, yeah, he's aim punched.
Yeah, nothing much TVS can do. We say that. He is 13.
He's 30 kills, 31.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another couple of Deagle highlights. TVS is having an absolute tear right now. He's just flown it. This is a holiday for him. He's on vacation. He's come in from Sweden to the UK to the well, I say quite cloudy, overcast Wolverhampton, enjoying a holiday, relaxing, taking down UK players up to 31 frags. He's got a 2 KD.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, if he keeps his performance up in the following games, though, this is going to be difficult for next in line. Because bear in mind, this is next in line's map pick. It's their most comfortable map in terms of they played it the most.
Swaggy's gone down to a Molotov.
Yeah, Royals, they seem to be waiting. Round. They're playing slowly. Just a couple of HEs. He's tucked in that corner, and next in line, they've got all this freedom with all this map control to just
pepper Zulu spot.
The oh,
lovely headshot. Otto, again, just so quick on the trade. You know, we're praising TVS, but Otto's been so consistent. The TVS, of course, none of that. Not having any of that. Otto just spammed down through the the tarp on the side of the scaffolding. Kappa out here in quad, just chilling.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're on a 3 versus 3 now, so this is going to be difficult for the CTs as they have
Wolfie.
to spread up so much defense. This
Gotta
fight
be
is gonna
careful. TVS, just again, is anyone going to stop this guy at this point? 33 kills, and look how confident he's been, just storming up onto this A bomb site. Drops a smoke. Dutchy coming in with a counter smoke, just to try and slow him down.
You would love to see him just push through that right side, but he isn't aware that they haven't taken that lane. At the same time, it does help because it means that the Ts aren't aware that there's no CTs there.
That was such a chunky nade, and Kappa with the flashbang as well. Dutchy's going straight through. Oscar's
Just
ready.
unfortunate that the smoke that he put down on default does fade. I mean, Oscar has vision, has been rotating, and TVS again up to 34.
The lineup though was so close
It was
there.
almost there.
If TVS wasn't so good at the bloody game,
Yeah.
I mean, 34 kills. I mean, there is potential if this goes all rounds that we see him up on 40 in regulation.
Yeah, he's going to have to do a lot of work to keep him there. As we look at the rest of the although you say that, yeah, the money is weak for next in line. They're going for this eco round. I like to see this though. They've barely invested a thing. Zulu with 4,000, Dutchy with a 4,000, Wolfie and Kappa on 3,000. It means they're going to get a really healthy buy. They're not over-investing into this round, which is likely that they'd lose regardless. So they're keeping all their eggs.
Yeah, it's one thing we've highlighted throughout the broadcast, that we see these teams buying pistols
When they're
and
ecoed, yeah.
they're taking from one hand. It's still their hand. The metaphor not quite on point there, but you know they're basically just
They're
screwing
hampering
themselves over.
their own
Yes.
investment and by investing into this round, just so they can get maybe an extra D kill here or there. But we don't see it from next to 9. Nice and disciplined is what you like to see, and that flash is perfect. There you go, the USPs, they do the damage, they take down TVS, but Swaggy and Oscar are ready and waiting, leaving Dutchy and Kappa. They should know that Dutchy's here, as he's all flashes this. Devran closes it out. 14-11, 3-round difference separating the teams. Be interesting to see what the CTs pull out this round. I'd like to see again them getting this AWP into the round. It seems to be this over-aggression once they get the opening pick. They get the map control to get everything they need, but will somehow find a way to claw it back. Whether it's TVS shooting them down or an opening pick across the other side of the map. But again, at the end of the day, the openings so far they're in the favour of next in 9. Again, we see it really slow for Wolves. They don't contest for bottom of the ramp. They've got 3 players sat there right now. The U-tilt, the double nade stack. Swaggy this time not in that position.
The util's not great for next in line, and Royals have managed to hold so much of theirs.
Yeah, it's really well played. They've cottoned on to the next in line. They burn a lot of their util early on in the round to stop this TVS aggression. But the smoke comes in, but they're already in front, and Devran catches them off guard. The perfect timing, Royals.
Where's the trade? Hartle's getting a kill as well. Wolfie finally able to get 1 on the board for next in line, and he's going to double up as well. Just a 1-man disadvantage now, but look who's still alive,
Yeah.
TVS.
You said where's the trade, but equally where's the trade for Royals? As soon as they get that, they think, oh, let's just battle up onto the side, but they're separated. That allows Wolfie to get 2 1v1 fights, and he's almost leveled us out in a 3 versus 2. Now it gets a little bit deadly for Royals. At the start, you think, oh yeah, they're safe. 5 versus 3, but no, it's a 3 versus 2.
The difficulty for Wolfie obviously being with that M4. He's quite low himself. It's going to have to be a headshot and a body shot, or 2 headshots.
But we know what he's capable
Hartles.
of. Catches him off guard. Royals, they decide to wait. They sit there on the ramp and they let Heartless go for the lurk. Now, 2 things happen there. Either Heartless, he does exactly what he did, slips the net, gets a kill, shoots someone in the back, and they win the round. Or he goes down, gets the information where 1 player is, and Royals then have the information to react off that in the 2 versus 2.
Kappa going to expend a Molotov here, and Heartless, yeah, there's nothing he can do about that, but Kappa now on 6 HP. He's going to have to save.
Yeah, with the money
no kip.
quite literally in the bin for next in line, they need this rifle coming in to give them a chance to win this round.
And I think this highlights why we hamper on about the economy so much and playing it so smart, because as soon as you let it get away from you, as soon as you get these rounds where you haven't got the utility that you need, it gets really easy for an opponent to start to build and just gain momentum. And that's what Royals are doing. They're now just within 2 rounds of tying things up.
Yeah, and their money is looking quite good as well. As we see, they're going to be able to buy for the next round or 2.
I don't want to see a buy at all for next in line.
They do have.
Okay, Flash is okay.
I think that was. I didn't see to catch up on the screen if it was 3 or 4 round loss bonus. If they've got 4 round loss bonus, they can go down to 2,000 exactly, and they will have a good buy. But if it's 3, then a little bit more in the bank. And it's not, again, it's nice to see that they have kept a little bit of that. Just a little bit of insurance.
Cape continuing. It's just relentless aggression. Would have liked to have perhaps seen him being flashed in somewhere, which it looks like. Yeah, Dutchy is flashing him in.
It, yeah.
Oh, but he's got the angle. Oscar's on such an off angle here. It's going to be really difficult for him to. Yeah.
There's the rifle gone. Wolfie, though, he's got a deep.
The ramp. Swaggy's able to get 2 for free. Nobody's watching it. So Zulu and Dutchy, I mean, they're just on pistols. But Dutchy still has that flash. If Zulu can upgrade, which he can't, get stink.
Yeah, it seems that next in line, they've got these really good opening fights. They're really good at shutting down these rushes. But as soon as the dust sort of settles, they keep, like, the Royals players, they keep slipping the net. We saw TVS walk up the ramp, catch them off guard. And then we saw another round, just as the smoke comes in, suddenly 3 players walk up the ramp, perfect time, and catch 2 of their players off guard at the top of the ramp. It's constantly just getting caught off guard for next in line. And after we see this round, they're 1 round apart.
He's picked up the M4.
That could be big for the economy, but he's being hunted down. Look at this.
Yeah, Royals know that M4's still dropped there, and they hunt for it. Oscar takes him down. 1 round separates next in line and Royals here on Vertigo, which was next in line's pick.
Yeah, as we mentioned, this could get sloppy. This could get messy.
This X Factor of TVS, who hasn't got a kill since we last highlighted his kills a couple of rounds ago.
Yeah, Oscar himself, he's up to 20. So he's not too far behind. I say too far behind, he's still 40 strikes behind, but you know what I mean. He's catching up, he's having a lot of impact now.
Swaggy on the jump spot, and now TVS activated. Otto B taken out. The orb's gone.
Aggression.
Yeah.
He's the only player towards A as well. The other players, we've got 2 players boosted up in mid, and then we've got 2 players up towards A. So he goes down. That's the A side for free. I'm not sure if Royals are aware of this, but next in line, they're doubling down. They're holding. Double on mid, 2 on B.
It's such a double-edged sword, this aggression. When it works, it's fantastic. When it doesn't work, it can shut your entire economy down. And yeah, I mean, now back foot. And I like that they're committed to the B bomb side, but I think they're starting to realise now that it's on A. And I don't think they want to let up this 14-14.
The silver lining, the bomb hasn't gone down, but if you look Heartless on this lurk, he's chosen the perfect time to come in and close it out.
Nice spam. The bomb still goes down, though. There's a bit of util for a retake, but there's also a lot of util to keep them off the bomb site.
I've just realised we've got a double flank. We've got Heartless who's coming in from mid, who's about to pounce. There we go. He takes down Zulu. Now he's away. He takes down a second Dutchy. Wolfie takes another. But because of his flank, I don't think the T's are going to be aware of Kappa's flank. Kappa takes 1, takes down a second, and that leaves Devran in a 1 versus 1 versus Wolfie to substitute.
Yeah, his location's revealed. He's going to tap the bomb, and in fact, he's going to stick it. He's right on top of it. Devran spamming away. He does manage to get it. Royals, by the skin of their teeth, managed to survive and tie things up.
That was such a messy round. You had the double flank coming. You had Heartless coming in from... because both teams had a player on the flank, they weren't aware that they were also being flanked themselves. And that was crucial. Both flanking players get double kills, and it just gets so messy.
14-14 all tied up.
And look at the money for next in line. They've got nothing. The good thing you want to see is they have left money in the bank for this final round.
It's the smart play. But the issue is, we're getting into the last stages of this game. And next in line, they don't have many more chances. 1, to be exact, if they don't win this.
Need I remind you, if Royals win this, then for next in line to win, they have to win Inferno, which is a map they don't play.
That's scary.
Yeah.
And then it becomes much more of a brawl, and if TVS continues this form, dangerous.
Yeah, in the meantime, though, Swaggy, he's getting revenge on that first half. He's the one getting the opening takes on B now on that T side. Walking up, takes down, he gets a second kill as well. After taking down Kappa, he takes down Dutchy. Spray through heaven, almost connects him a third.
Yeah, it's a bit of a blender there.
But look at this, they're taking A site as well. Royals, they've got A and B. Otto, though, he has the one he got TPS, that's the Orba going down.
Oh, misses on the follow-up, but Wolfie's there to recover things.
If they take that, they can
do
defuse the bomb.
And look how low they are as well, even if they were close. But it doesn't matter.
What
Wolfie's on
have
it.
Royals
He's
just
sticking it.
fumbled?
What's just gone on?
This is such a devastating fumble that Royals had. They walk up to the B side, get 2 opening picks. They have 2 players on the B side, and they're like, okay, we've got the B side for free. Yeah, they've got 3 players with the bomb running up to A. They get so complacent, TVS overpicking CT gets taken down. At that point, the bomb going down, there's only 1 player to defend. They just get swarmed by the 3 players who are running to save.
In the words of a UK Counter-Strike GOAT, what a blunder.
What a blunder.
And now, got
That's-
full buys.
That's next in line up onto match point, and now we've got a full buy. We've got even full buys. Orcs on both teams. We'll finally see if Royals really do have the metal to take us into overtime here and take this map.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that frustration isn't seeping in after losing that.
There's no way they're not going to be arguing after that, or a little bit of tension thrown in the communications.
Four kits.
Yeah, but again, look at Next in Line's utility. They burned so much of it so early, and Royals are aware of this. We saw this in some of the first rounds that Royals started winning, was they just wait for Next in Line's util to fade away, and then they can just walk up into the sites.
Royals have done a really good job of, keeping it.
As they walk here, 4 players up to ramp. This time they're doubling down. They're going for that heavy. Still leaving Heartless on that lurk. Maybe Next in Line are aware of it this time.
Otto's holding a nice angle.
We'll see what sort of reaction they have. Yeah, the smokes come in, and the 2 players are stuck in towards Ivy. They smoke down with default. This is big. They can hold Ivy itself.
Oscar opening as well. Wolfie taken out. Spam exchange through the smoke. Dutchie's dropped the bomb carrier. 30 seconds left. And another
Zulu in
plant
the smoke.
prevented. It's a 3 versus 3. Hartle's able to get a kill. Flanking again.
They aren't aware of the lurk. He's done it round after round after round, and now Kappa's alone in the 1 versus 3, and he's locked out of Elevator. He's stuck in CT in Heaven, which means he's going to be closed in. TVS, he just scoped up on AWP, and there we go. That was such a messy round. We saw Next in Line. They had that defense. They had that A-side defense. They decided to double down onto Ivy, but they smoke default, and then no one's watching Ivy. The 1v1 goes down, and Zulu hides in the smoke, and they're not ready for the Heartless lurk. He's done this every single round. It's all the only thing Heartless has done. He's walked out mid, and we've gone into overtime.
TVS is on 37 kills.
When
It's
was he on
very
34?
unlikely.
He got to 34 kills within like the first
He's
5
cooled
rounds
a little.
of overtime. Of second half, sorry.
But there's a very good chance that we see 40 here now with overtime. MR3, 12.5k. And the flash is perfect, which means TVS doesn't get that kill. And jumping across, he's not going to get a second either. Never mind, Otto's get taken out the round.
Overextending there. The aggression, you see it from the Finns finally being punished. TVS on that AWP, he's had enough. But are they going to be aware of Zulu? He is stuck here. It's going to be really difficult for him to actually get anything. He might be able to get 1, but falling off will be near impossible. But it looks like Royals, they're falling off. They've left the ramp, and consequently, Zulu's got a really forward position.
But yet again, Next in Line burning so much util early on, and Royals are just happy to hold it. And the worst part is they're finding opening picks as well.
The one thing I will say is it's Kappa. There we go. He's just burnt his smoke. He's the B-side anchor. He's burnt his smoke at the perfect time. But the smoke, the issue with the smoke on B-side Vertigo is there's no choke point for actually to hold. If you smoke that stage, you're going to give a bunch of one-ways, and it's still quite easy for the T's to push through. Kappa's got in the one position where he can stop that.
Look at this. Look how big this execute is. And
But
yet none of the flashes are working. Kappa's able to get 1, gets 2, gets a 3rd. Oscar able to trade, but that's such a strong opening. TVS still alive though, the danger man. And there he is, Dutchie taken out the round, 2 versus 2. And at the minute, Next in Line is super far removed, but there's a flank coming in. Zulu. Oscar seems to be aware of it, but he turns. The steps made. The spam, it's none of his landing. Oscar, Wolfie coming through. Oscar survives.
That was such a messy round. We saw like 3 or 4 mollies come out for Royals over that smoke, and not a single one goes into danger.
But also
is
the
exactly
amount
where
of
Kappa
flashes
is.
they threw, and not a single one.
Well, that makes sense. The flashes would go over the white box, so they're more likely to flash sight. They're not going to flash danger, especially because danger is a position they're more likely to be fighting from. But there was still no molly to clear danger after that smoke came down.
Phew. That was very back and forth.
As well, Zulu on the flank, he jumped the gun a little bit. He started shooting, started running,
Yeah.
which Oscar turned around and heard, and he started shooting the bomb planter instead of Oscar. So
That all
So
came down
close.
to Zulu's flank there. If he doesn't make noise,
And Oscar just playing Overwatch there pretty much. Just like a guardian angel.
Yeah.
Looking over TVS after TVS got an incredible opening. He's up to 39 kills.
He's 1 kill away, Tim.
1 kill away from a 40 bomb.
And if Royals do end up winning this, they've got TVS to thank for it.
Yeah, they've got to go to the bar and buy a big drink.
Yeah.
100%.
To be fair, Hartles, the amount of round-winning lurks that he's had through middle. This is a nice opening, though. Next in line, Otto.
Yeah,
on that AWP.
finally, he's getting those openings. What we saw so much on that T side.
Spotted
and the
Devran as well.
information as well.
And he's got another one as well. Devran taken straight out.
They're still fighting.
Yeah, he needs to stop because that's what happens. Wolfie's got that.
You've got a 2-man advantage. As soon as you start fighting, especially if you don't fight together and coordinated and actually coordinate something together, that's when it falls apart. And as you see, TVS with the AWP is now up to 40.
Yeah, Hartles again in mid. Sports things into a 3-on-3. The thing is with this relentless aggression is it throws people off to begin with, but as soon as they're used to it, then they start to expect it. It's a nice little double pack going on towards mid, but then the exact same's happening on the ramp here. TVS leading the charge. Otto rotating round now.
Yeah,
too late though.
He does have the AWP, so it means you can leave him in a good position to just hold the push up. So if he pushes up a little bit further and holds the left side of default, it's a strong position, but the neutral comes out.
Oh. Missed shot. And that allows TVS to take the angle.
Yeah, that's so strong. That's one thing I really like about this execute. You only smoke the right side. That leaves the left side open. It's so much harder for the CTs to retake. But look at that. The CT smoke comes in on that left-hand side. They can walk into the smoke and spam the bomb planter.
Zulu's through the smoke, though, and Kappa chimes in as well. Next in line, stabilise. They equalise the scoreline. 16-16.
Oh, look at this. Devran pulling out the Krieg.
I
hate this.
I also hate it. That gun is terrible now.
I hate the Krieg. I hate it.
If he can land
even in the Krieg meta when it was overpowered, I still used the AK.
Well, that was just silly, but we won't get into that. If Devran can land a headshot here, then that'd be big. The bit of the SG, sorry, bit of magnification could make all the difference, especially on this long sightline on ramp. He's
over the top of the smokes. You could use it almost like an AWP, pretty much.
He's playing anti-flash though, and he's mollied out.
Yeah, but they've got TVS who is actually the one with the AWP. Almost catches off Otto jump spotting. He's still going for this jump spot after getting a pop shot thrown at him.
Swaggy's gained so much space here on B, and Kappa's so low as well. It's going to be really difficult for him to get a kill here, but he still manages to.
Yeah, Kappa
that's huge.
Just pivoted, just balancing the edge.
He took another round through the smoke, and he's just firmed it.
That's a big opening pill.
It really is. And TVS just lurking around trying to pick up the pieces, but there's so much that he needs to clear on the ramp before they can get up, and the time is ticking down. 47 seconds left. A boost in middle. Dutchy surely hears this.
Surely. They're missing the boost constantly.
Oh
there we go, the flick up.
Devran going down.
That nade was so close to actually taking out Dutchy as well, but it doesn't matter. Kappa, look, he's pushed towards B, and he's taken out Oscar. That's early information that B is likely going to be where it's at. He's even whipped out the Deagle. TVS with the AWP, he's clean. Kappa not able to land a headshot.
But now,
down to 452.
Perfect flash. That allows Dutchy to do a bit of damage. But TVS going to get the kill, a bit of an overextension. There's no hope of a trade from Wolfie until just now, where Hartles goes down, but TVS swaps out to the AK. He's ready. And he's got 2 players to find to make this an ace clutch. It's not going to happen. Otto does shut him down. So, round advantage for next in line, 17-16 as we go into the second half of the first overtime here. TVS 43-21.
Yeah, he's having an incredible game. It's really difficult for next in line to shut him down. As we come into swapping the sides, though, is the first team to 19 rounds takes this map. So, next in line, 2 rounds away.
And important thing, 12.5k on the overtime as well. It gives Royals on the CT side and next in line on the previous side a lot more room to work with economy-wise.
Yeah, look at this aggression. Kappa already winning this fight on Swaggy. We saw this in the first half constantly. Kappa taking these fights on his own, actually with a bit of support as well. Swaggy getting so much pressure.
Hartles out wide,
gets
Kappa
the second. How? It's these Finns together. They're working together, playing as a team. Just taking this B side. And Otto, he's not done. He's walking through the smoke.
Oh my god, he's getting so aggressive here. He needs to be careful about Oscar. And Oscar will capitalise, but Zulu has got the kill on Heaven. So still, 2-man disadvantage for Royals. TVS makes it 1. But he's very far removed from the situation in a minute. The good thing is they've got 2 smokes and
Wolfie and mid. There's no reason for Royals not to go for this. That being overtime, they've got plenty of money. So even now, Oscar should be going for this, but it's really difficult with Wolfie on that beautiful lurk coming out from mid. As we saw in the second half, Heartless constantly every single round flanking A from mid. This time, Wolfie, he takes a leaf out of Heartless book and comes into the B site super late. He almost baiting Zulu. So Zulu came in on that flank first, gets an opening kill on mid. Gets taken down by TVS, but Wolfie that entire time he's hiding just behind him and just shoots the rest of them back. Really well played from the substitute.
we've seen a change. Double AWP for Royals. I don't think we've seen this entire game yet. TVS and now Devran. 2 European imports. Picking up the double green. Meanwhile, next in line, 5 rifles and the Dutchies on an A1S.
This is nice though. They noticed there was a weakness on their site hold in the first half, which was Swaggy. He kept getting taken down by these picks and the boost. The double peek is perfect.
If that's an AK, he gets that kill. Swaggy does manage to get one, but TVS, the big hitter, taking out the round. And man disadvantage for Royals. Make it 2. Wolfie looking to take it here in OT1. Swaggy on the flank. Dutchy seems set up for this, and Zulu will be now as well. There's the trade. Devran left with.
He's so out of position here. He's actually rotating in now, and Wolfie still holding down these rotations in mid. Finally, next in line close there. Map pick 1916.
1916, and I mean, how incredibly strong next in line started.
Yeah.
Royals mounted a bit of a comeback. They took it to overtime. Next in line fell onto the back foot a little bit, but at the end of the day, I think the team play prevailed.
Yeah.
And they found the gaps in this puggy style that Royals have.
Taken away from this best of 3 though, next in line need to look at their CT side. There was an obvious weakness that in their CT side in the fact that they would just wait out the util. They'd burn so much util early, and then after that they would kept getting caught off guard from the T's pushing up the ramp. On top of this, Heartless, how many times did he flank that A side?
Yeah.
You're looking in that final round of regulation, they still weren't ready for it. He comes in with the double kill.
Yeah, and I think what's so interesting about that as well is that when you look at the scoreboard, he wasn't high up on the scoreboard. In fact, I think he was towards the bottom. And yet even still, with the limited kills that he was having, so much impact.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to frag highly, at least make those kills count. And that's what he was doing.
100%.
Right. Well, I think we all need a short break after that. We're going to be back with Anubis, which is Royals' pick, after this very short break.